This week's episode of I Have Today is brought to you by the Spifter. The Spifter is a fun sifting spoon that makes cooking, baking, and decorating with sugars and spices so much fun. No more mess or wasting your spices. It's fast, clean, and easy. Everything looks and tastes delicious. It's also great for straining loose tea, getting pesky broken cork out of your wine glass, and draining liquid off food like olives and capers. Whether you're a novice cook or a gourmet chef, you'll love the results. The Spifter, the kitchen gadget that no kitchen should be without. Hey there, it's Diane Forster, and welcome to I Have Today, the show that inspires, educates, and empowers you through life's transitions. And each week on this show, I bring on the coolest, most amazing, awesome CEOs, experts, entrepreneur, life changers, and global leaders who've gone through their own reinventions in life and transitions and have come out on the other side successful. And they come on this show to share their stories with us. And I am super excited about today's show because I have in the house not one, but two amazing powerhouse women, leaders in this world who are doing extraordinary things, who I've gotten to know personally over the past year and really well at their latest retreat. And so let me introduce them to you. Anna Pereira, who is the founder of the Wellness Universe, and she has a mission. It is to bring out the best in you. She calls herself an evolutionary catalyst, which we're going to talk about, to raise awareness and create positive change. As a motivational public figure, her inspirational posts are known worldwide. Through her Facebook page, Circles of Inspiration by Anna Pereira, which you guys probably follow, she has helped the lives of over 783,000 people. That's right, amazing. Focused on building a space for a flourishing network of heart-based entrepreneurs, the Wellness Universe is helping modern-day thought leaders, wellness practitioners, and co-creators of change reach their goals personally and professionally. Anna's greatest reward in life is seeing world changers not only change the world, but change their own self as well. She brings together people, and she's not doing it alone. She has found an amazing partner. Shari Alyse is the co-founder of the Wellness Universe and is the CIO, which is the Chief Inspirational Officer of Soul Ventures, a company focused on being a catalyst for positive change on this planet. Shari has spent her life learning how to love herself fully and completely, which I love. Motivated by her own journey through childhood sexual abuse and other childhood traumas, Shari helps women and men discover their joy by reconnecting them back to themselves through the practice of self-love. Shari is a motivational speaker, self-love coach, and an author. Together, these two women are powerhouses, bringing together in this one together kind of epic wellness resource for anyone seeking encouragement, love, inspiration, education, advice, products, and support from trusted sources, which I am fortunate and humbled to be one of them. So with that said, I want to welcome both Anna and Shari to I Have Today. Hi, ladies. How are you?
Hi, Diane. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you so much. And I'm going to bring you everywhere to introduce me as I walk in a room, because that was amazing.
That really was.
Well, it was from the heart. And let me just tell you, the audience right now, Anna and Shari are here, and what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the topic this week, and our theme is how to create health and wellness through community, which is so powerful. And that our intention statement this week is, if you're writing it down, here it is. I have today, hang on, I got to find it. I have today, sometimes this happens to me. I have today to put my health and wellness first. Actually, that's never happened to me. I don't know why that just hiccup there. Anyway, I have today to put my health and wellness first, because as we know, right, when you don't have your health, you don't have anything, right? It is really the most important thing you can do for yourself is to nurture your health and wellness. So With that said, what I want to do is I want to talk about your stories, and I want to start with Anna's story first, since you are the founder of the Wellness Universe, and then I want to lead into, you know, how you and Shari connected, and then Shari's powerful story. So Anna, you have the floor. So please tell our audience a little bit about you, where you came from, and how this all came to be.
Sure, Diane. Thank you so much. That was amazing. And like Shari said, I think we're going to take you with us because that was like such a dynamic intro. So I guess I'll take you back to where it's relevant, because obviously we have huge backgrounds being the age that we are. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But taking you back to the place that's relevant, I highlights in my life where I saw that I was kind of being guided to assist and help and facilitate people to have more ease in their life. Started when I was probably a teenager. I attracted a lot of people that were twice my age to seek guidance from me, become friends with me, things like that. And from there, I never really knew what like motivational speaking was, or what motivation was, or empowerment, or any of that. But I kind of creeped into that area. When I was about 30 years old, I started my own t-shirt collection, and that was called Super Sexy, because I believed every woman is sexy in her own way, and it's her confidence that's what makes her super sexy. So it was all about empowering women, all about making somebody feel real good and confident, and through what they wear. So that was one thing that started that. Then I started going off onto a more of a spiritual journey of my own. That helped me to create my clothing line, to go into a more spiritual, empowering line, using more energy and healing, and, you know, exploring this area. So as I became, through my businesses, as I became more in touch with who I am and how I want to deliver messages to the world and help facilitate ease and support for people in the world, especially women and young women, because I had a lot of stuff going on when I was growing up. I was bullied. I had very low self-esteem, very low confidence. I didn't have a lot of nurturing in my house. So I kind of had to make my own way in life, so to speak. I'm kind of self-made, if you will. Actually, I am self-made, if you will. My life right now is much different than how it was when I grew up, or what I even thought was possible, because none of it was even a figment of a dream for me compared to what my life is really like now, because I followed my path. So from that, and having the clothing line and everything else, and developing my spiritual practices and on my journey, and then I want to say around 36, I was single. I never was married. And about at the beginning of the year of 2009, I was at the point where I just had it with being single and meeting like these, you know, these guys that were not great for me. And I was just like, you know, I give it to God. And I said, you know what, just bring me somebody who's going to make beautiful babies with me and allow me to live my happiness. And I think relinquishing that over, and that control over, because there was so much judgment around myself, expectations of myself, judging others. It was such a big hairy ball of a mess. You know what I mean? Like, how are people going to, you know, want me to be? Am I going to have to sell my house? Am I going to have to move into their house? They're going to sell their house, going to move in with me. There's all this stuff attached to all of these things that, you know, I wanted from a relationship. And that held me from that was blocking me from having a relationship. Now, I'm telling you all this because when I really, really, really finally gave it up, and since we don't know what happiness really is, or joy, what it can unfold into, because we don't know the possibilities that are out there unless we open up the space for it. And somebody who's going to make beautiful babies with me, well, that kind of covers itself. Obviously, so I'm attracted to, and, you know, looks good. 9 months later, 10 months later, I met the man of my dreams, and we got married within 8 months. I mean,
Wow.
8 weeks, within 8 weeks. 8 weeks. Wow. So from there, little did I know, my life was going to take me to live in Europe. So I live now between New Jersey and Europe, and take me on a journey to start Circles of Inspiration, and then start me on a journey to have the calling to create the Wellness Universe. And that was basically bringing everybody together who's a world changer. And back in 2013 is when I had the vision, and I said, oh yeah, Facebook really isn't the place for us. Like we need like our own space. It's a great marketing tool and it's a great place to connect with people. But we as world changers need our own place to be found and commune. So that's how that all happened. So I tell you all this because I think it's really important that we really tune into, following our gut. And the longer we stick to being scared of being judged, sticking to a plan because what other people expect of us or what we expect of ourselves, it really keeps us from our happiness and from really unfolding into the dynamic, amazing, wonderful individual that we are meant to be. And so when I finally let that go, then the dominoes started to fall. So that's, where I'm at now.
That is such a powerful story, and I love everything about it. There's so much symmetry, like the timing. 2013 is when I came up with the concept of I Have Today. And that you touched on something that's so important for the audience to hear. It's when you let go, totally release it, surrender. It's my favorite word, surrender. That all this, you already had, so many gifts and wonderful abundance in your life, self-made. You learned so many lessons about independence and, all of those things. But your heart and soul were calling and longing for this amazing partner in your life. And you just let go of the expectations of what other people thought about it. And wham, came in. Fantastic. All right. I love that story. Okay. So now we'll connect to Shari. So how did you and Shari connect to be, to bring her on board as the co-founder?
Well, Shari, do you want to start that off? Because actually you're really good at telling that.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, actually, you know what? Let's do this. Shari, tell a little bit of your background story and then bring us to present day when you two connected.
Okay, sure. So I grew up in a household basically of divorced parents. And that at the age of 2 years old, that's when they got divorced. And so I just always knew separate parents. But it was a pretty troublesome household in the sense that my mom was really sad and bitter over this divorce. And the only thing I knew is that every time that I did something to make her smile, like to entertain her, like it just, I saw this woman who was always unhappy smile and feel better. And so I learned from a really young age that I had the power to make somebody feel good. And that's kind of where the actress in me was born. And I went through school really following this path that, I wanted to change people's lives. I wanted to take them out of whatever state they were in, even if it was just for a couple of hours in a movie theater. Like that was the goal for me. At 7 years old, I was, as you mentioned in the intro, I was sexually abused by a stranger. And that really just set me off on this journey of really trying to understand, number one, why something like this happened, but really finding my voice. Because growing up in the divorced household, I didn't really ever feel like I had a voice. My voice always had to be what my mom wanted or what my dad wanted. Which parent are you going to choose? Which one are you going to love more? Whose house are you going to go to? Right. And when I was, when the sexual abuse happened, I actually spoke up and went to court and had to put the man in jail. And at that age, I realized the effect of using my voice to change lives, because they ended up finding out that he had done this to a lot of other girls. Wow. Of course, at that age, I didn't understand really the effect of how that would have on my life. I just knew that my voice, number one, could help people, but I also had a lot of guilt around that. My voice also hurt people too, because here was this man's life that I've now put in jail. So there was this inner turmoil and struggle throughout my childhood. And the only thing that I knew what to do with these feelings was to stuff them down. And so I used food growing up to really deal with those emotions. And my journey just took me like where a lot of people do, making all the wrong choices, as Anna said, like choosing all the men that were unavailable, doing a lot of partying in New York City, after college, going there to be an actress. And what I ended up discovering during all of this time was that I had this light in me that I never could explain, but it always just comforted me. It comforted me at 7 years old in that moment where that trauma was happening, and it kind of just guided me throughout my life. And all I knew is that I just kept following it. And it eventually led me to Los Angeles, and it led me to realizing one day that I actually made a lot better me than I did playing a character. And so all of this stuff that I had inside, I was always just a sharer. I naturally talked. You could never shut me up. You talk to most people in my life. And so what that turned into was the combination of having had the acting training and being on stages and loving audiences to really having a message to share. And that's when I started doing motivational speaking, because I realized there was a lot more power in being able to use my voice to help inspire and encourage and get people to understand who they really are. And that's kind of where the journey led me to Anna, because I was on Facebook doing my daily videos and doing my coaching and, speaking. And we ran in the same inspirational circle. And as Facebook was Facebook and everything was getting super hard and challenging, and the algorithms and just to be seen and heard, we were in a group and everybody was complaining. And Anna basically came to me and, said, I want to talk to you. And said, listen, instead of all of us complaining about Facebook, why don't we just create our own platform? And about literally a week before, I was so frustrated. Like, I couldn't get gigs. I didn't know what I wanted to do with I knew I wanted to do, but I was just frustrated. And so I surrendered that week before, and I said, you know what? I'm just going to say yes to everything. Like, I'm just going to allow whatever to show up. And so when Anna approached me about this, I literally just said, sure. No idea what we were getting into.
Can I just interrupt you for 1 minute? I just have to make a note that she can manifest something in a week. It takes me 10 months.
When there's no attachments, we can manifest anything.
Oh,
yeah.
Word. I'm with you. I get it.
And that's why it's so hard, because everything I'm so attached to, I'm like, why won't it show up?
Yeah.
So I literally just said, sure. Like I said, no idea what we were about to build. Just knew that I had said, like, I have this powerful message. For some reason, I can't seem to do it on my own. I want to change the world on my own, but I can't. And I had prayed for a team. And literally, we created the Wellness Universe, and that created a team of world changers that are literally here changing the world.
Yes. Beautiful. Well, you know how I feel about it. I think it's amazing. So either one of you, whoever wants to explain to the audience, what is the Wellness Universe?
Okay, I will. Okay, so the Wellness Universe is, if you go to thewellnessuniverse.com, you'll see it's a website that anyone can see, anyone can search. It's basically a directory of people who are changing the world. However, it's much more than that behind the scenes. It's sort of like when you go to a show and you see what's on stage, it's like the show's going on, but behind stage and in the orchestra and the lights, all of this happens around the actual show for the show to actually happen. So for all of these world changers to be available to people at thewellnessuniverse.com, we offer support to each other. We collaborate on projects. We also deliver content through the blogs, which is the members' content. So all of the members of the Wellness Universe make up this amazing community and share everything that they have, all their goodness, basically. And it's a member-supported community as well. So we don't have all blinging ads all over like the blog. We have classes, we have live classes and recorded classes that we offer, as well as the Wellness Universe members. So it basically is support for the providers of wellness within the community themselves, from us, Shari and myself, as well as the members of the Wellness Universe, and also a support system and a place for products, services, and information for the general public who are looking for a trusted source in order to find wellness, well-being, wholeness, health, and any type of anything they want to make their life better, basically.
Yeah, it is. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. So, all right. So, what's been the biggest challenge for you in creating this? Up to this point? Because I know, listen, it doesn't just, I know we can manifest like this, but also you don't build this massive, beautiful community and global platform without, some challenges. And this is the thing I want to share with people, because I like them to see the mess to success. I like them to know, when you're making a recipe in the kitchen, you got to make a mess first. Like, you got to get your hands dirty before you come up with this creation. So And it's not giving up. It's staying, having that faith, having that trust, not Shari saying yes to something she had no idea what she said yes to, but she was going for it anyway. So share the challenges, because that's what we want people to understand at a level that you're going to have them.
Yeah. Well, I can give you a book of challenges. I mean, every day, like literally the only reason why we're still here is because Anna and I have each other. Like there, you know, and we balance each other out. And the days that I'm super frustrated and want to throw in the towel, she's there, and vice versa, the days that she's frustrated, I'm there, you know. So when you're building something from scratch, something that's never been done, we don't ultimately know the roadmap. So the challenge is to listen well enough to your own instinct, to your intuition, to, you know, we have these ideas of what we think will work. They don't always work. Like what Anna and I think our members or people need, they don't often want that. So, you know, it's being able to determine and uncover all of these areas. And, you know, for me on a personal level, like I got in my own way in the beginning. You know, I came from this very creative background. And so to be a business owner and to like come and run a community when I was used to just like, you know, I was an entrepreneur in the fact that, you know, I was an actress and I was, you know, sending out my own headshots and I was doing all these things for myself. But now I got to show up for everybody else. And so the self-doubt, you know, in the beginning was like, can I do this? And then just showing up every day and doing it and seeing the impact that we were making, you know? So the challenge for me was getting past my own shit, to be honest, you know?
Yeah.
And stepping out of that way. And then the other thing is we're heart-based entrepreneurs. So everybody's passionate about what they have and how they can change the world and how they serve. But what often happens with that is that there's a lot of people don't know about the business side. And so it's being able to, you know, not kill people's dreams, to be able to, you know, still show up and give them encouragement and everything and not have them give up. But they look to us, the wellness universe, as the answer and savior for everything. And we just can't be it, you know? I mean, like I said, that's a lot of challenges. So I can keep going, but I'll let Anna.
Yeah, no, I mean, Shari, you pretty much covered it well. You know, there's the emotional challenges. There's our personal challenges, because literally it is our business. So Diane, as you can totally understand, when you're in your business, 90% of your challenges are emotional, because you're always thinking, you're always double thinking, you're always trying to figure out. And then there's the other stuff. There's the financial, there's, you know, the physical, like how am I going to get here and where am I going to go? How do I, you know, connect with this group or this organization? And, you know, just all of the stuff that has to go along with a business, like your marketing, your business plan, you know, who you're going to get on your board. Like it's all of the business stuff that goes along with it. But I think that most of the challenges, and from when I had, and I speak about this often, but it's usually within, you know, when we're talking business to business person, I think that most of the challenges, and thank God, like Shari said, we have each other. If you don't have someone to get through those points when you're going through your emotional highs and lows,
yeah,
and every other problem seems so insignificant at those times, then it'll be really hard to overcome and come to decisions that are good for you, healthy for you, and good and healthy for your business. And I think that that's one of the biggest challenges, thank God, that we don't have to deal with. It's something I did. I was there. I'd been there, done that when I had my clothing line and when I was an artist working out of my basement and alone every day. So I think that's a huge challenge that, thank God, we don't have to address. But again, like Shari said, basically everything that she covered it's really another dynamic when you're working with a lot of different people, coming from a lot of different levels of experience, wisdom, background, financial levels, commitment to their project. And then we put ourselves out there for them to support them. So it becomes challenging for us because, you know, they can come and go with their commitment, what they want to do with their life, if they want to really be a coach tomorrow or whatever. And meanwhile, we're over there, you know, cheering them on and giving them everything they need to support them on a business level. And they could just like duck out tomorrow. So that's like a challenge for us, is how deeply committed do we get, you know, with everyone. So that's one of our challenges, I think, but we get through it.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and the bigger the business grows, the bigger the challenges and opportunities grow as well. It's just a part of it. So,
Well,
um,
oh,
go
no,
ahead.
sorry, I was just going to say, like, we get so personally attached to our community that we want to do everything for them and give them everything. And we noticed that it was wearing on us on an emotional level and a
Sure.
physical level, that we had to detach in a way and go, okay, we can't create success for everybody. Like, we can't be responsible for everybody. And that was hard.
Yeah, the responsibility piece. Yeah.
Yeah. And being able, because I experienced that with, coaching and in my business as well, the energy leakers, the people who are, really they're, and it's because you want to serve, you want to make everybody happy. And we can't do that. It's depleting and it's debilitating to us. So I understand that. So, all right. I want to talk about Soul Treat. So will you guys share a little bit about Soul Treat? I know you've had a couple of events. I've been a presenter and an attendee. I got to tell you guys out there, you need to attend their next event because it totally washed, scrubbed, cleaned my soul, spirit from the inside out. I literally came back a transformed person, and I can't tell you how many things in my life have changed since that magical trip. Yeah. So please share about what Soul Treat is and the information about it.
Sure. So Soul Treat literally is a treat for your soul. When we created this, it was really from this place that all of us carry around crap. We all do things that limit us in the ways that we think, things that limit us in the choices that we make. There are, subconscious beliefs. There are, half the time we're walking around unconsciously, and there's just a lot of stuff that holds us back. And, I had a major breakthrough in healing in Sedona, Arizona many years ago, where I actually had a face-to-face with my 7-year-old self that was abused. And so I knew when we were creating Soul Tree that number one, it had to be in Sedona, because you've got to just surround yourself with the most healing place with the vortexes and all that. So we decided on this retreat to be able to really bring people back to themselves, to be able to release that which is blocking us from being our whole magnificent, joyful, beautiful, radiant selves. And then once we've released that, then be able to fill people back up in all of that new open space with tools and resources and tips and things to really help rebuild and reset our lives. And that's what Soul Treat's about. It's about coming together with others who include you, who make you feel safe, where it's fun, where people support you, where you can show up fully being you and sharing in your you-ness, and then, celebrating all that we are with all different activities and all that. So it's just a beautiful time to really treat yourself to the life and the love that you deserve.
Yes.
And I'm not passionate about it at all, as you can tell.
Well, I love it. And like I said, as someone who is a part of it, a part of this community, it was so great that I got to spend quality time with the both of you and other members of the community, as well as some of the experts and some of the attendees. It really was a very special experience. And the way you laid it out, the activities we did, it was so well orchestrated. And I highly recommend this to anyone and everyone, because there will be another one later this year in November of 2019. And I'm sure there's an opportunity for you to get in now while there are still spaces available. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a link to, it's called WU Soul Treat and .com, and we will have a link to it in the comments section here. And if you're listening to this on the podcast, we'll have it on my podcast page at dianeforster.com for you to get your tickets to this amazing retreat. So
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Of course. Okay, I have to ask both of you separately what I ask every guest, which is, how do you live the I Have Today way? Who would like to go first?
I'll go first. Okay. I just think that growing up into myself as a grown woman now, accepting all of who I am, flaws in everything, and always trying to see myself in my best light and focus on that no matter what I'm going through, no matter what's going on around me. Because I know that if I'm not at my best and if I'm not positive and if I'm not holding myself to that expectation, it's not going to do anything for anyone else. And I think that we need, more of that in the world, that we all need to really just say, hey, stop with the pity parties, get out of whatever you're in and just put your best foot forward. So that's, I think, acknowledging that and trying to live in that every single day is living the I have today way for me.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, Shari, how about you?
For me, I spent many years denying what it was that I was feeling, pushing down. And so for me, the I have today way is about acceptance of what I feel, what I'm going through, no matter what shows up for me, and loving myself through it in every moment, being good to myself, being kind with myself, and being patient with myself, acknowledging that I'm imperfect, but beautiful. And just the kindness and compassion that I show myself every day.
Beautiful, beautiful. You two said something. Anna said flaws and all, and you said imperfect. And I have to tell you both, you are just perfect, just as you are. That's amazing. But I know we're works in progress, and we're constantly learning, growing, and expanding. So I call it perfect imperfection.
Yeah.
All right, I love that. Now, is there one final piece of advice you'd like to share before we let the audience know how they can find out, ways to get in contact with you and join the community?
I think for me, my advice to everybody is always just be gentle with yourself. Just be kind, There's enough going on in the world around us, but if you could show up for yourself every day with kindness and gentleness and love, then the quality of your life and your journey through life is just that much sweeter.
Beautifully said.
Thank you.
My final piece of advice would just be, it was a big one for me and a life-changing pivotal moment when I said, I'm not going to hold anybody to any expectation, and I'm not going to allow their judgment of me or an expectation of me to navigate my journey. So I think that would be my advice, is that if you could just really tune in to your essence and just live your life from that point, from deep inside of you. And I'm not saying to be like super spiritual or change who you are. I'm saying to really connect with who you are, and don't let anyone, what they think of you or what you think they think of you, navigate your journey.
Yes, beautifully said. Hear, hear. I agree with that 100%. Yeah, you're here. You came into this world alone. You're leaving it alone. You got to make sure this is happy. And yeah. Okay. Well, what we're going to do also is let us know, how can we find out more about you? Anna.
Well, you can go to thewellnessuniverse.com. Don't forget the word "the" in front of Wellness Universe. And then look me up, Anna Pereira, also my Circles of Inspiration Facebook page. And yeah, I mean, basically the Wellness Universe, you'll see me floating around there every day. So
yes. Yeah, I know. He's always got tons going on there.
Yes.
Right. And how about you, Shari?
The same. Find me at thewellnessuniverse.com. You can look up Shari Alyse. I also have my own personal website, which is sharialyse.com. You'll find out all the latest events and things happening coming up for me and for us. So those are really the best ways.
Great.
And Facebook and Instagram and everywhere else.
Okay. Yeah, I know you guys are very active on social media. Okay. Wait, Anna, I got to ask, 783,000 followers. How did you do that? People want to know.
Well, that was back in the heyday of Facebook, right? And networking with other, and again, it's about community, networking with other pages and sharing their content and getting shared by them, and just speaking my truth. Again, connecting with who I am and sharing inspirational messages and basically my truth. And I called out to the people who it resonated with, and that's how that community was built. It actually was at 835,000 until Facebook started preening back on the fans or followers or, you know, whatever they want to call them now, but I call them people.
Shocking. They're people.
What?
Okay. Wow. Well, that's impressive. Well, I want to thank you both for being here. You know, I just love, adore, and respect you both so much. And I'm so honored and grateful to be a part of this community and do this work where we are, you know, we are changing the world as individuals, but we do so much more when we work together and collaborate together. So don't forget, check the links in the comment section for Soul Treat at WU Soul Treat, and then for thewellnessuniverse.com for both of those. And make sure you go to this amazing event. And for me, you can find out more information about me at dianeforster.com. We've got some changes going on here, but the location of where to find us is going to be the same. So you can find out information about my online programs, private coaching with me, the blogs, the podcasts, all that good stuff at dianeforster.com. And don't forget, our theme this week was how to create health and wellness through community. And your intention statement is, I have today to put my health and wellness first. So thank you, ladies, so much for being here. And I bless you. I send you love and light, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.